Hey guys, welcome to another video from Historic Militaria. Today we're looking at what looks like a pretty typical M1 helmet, but it is in fact a Chinese GK80 steel combat helmet. And this has kind of been the mainstay of the Chinese PLA for a number of years. If I've got my dates right, I believe this was created right around 1969, right around the late 60s, early 70s. In conjunction with Albania, because of all things, Albania had a real problem with any kind of thaw with the West, and so the dictator and the government there decided they were going to go with a purist communist state, which at that time was China. So you'll see a lot of cross-pollination between Albanian and Chinese ideas. Certainly Albanian SKSs used even Chinese slings. They had some Chinese ideas in terms of how they were made and just a lot of Chinese influence. And this combat helmet was sort of one of those ideas. But it went through a number of design changes and phases before it was settled in about 1980 on the GK80. And this is sort of the final design that was used by the Chinese military when they realized pretty quick after the Chinese-Vietnamese War in 1979 that, hey, we probably need to improve our equipment a bit. So this was adopted right around that time. And it's a fairly standard steel M1 style combat helmet with a little bit of a look of the Soviet SSH-40 and its variants. It kind of had that flared outer that you're going to see on a lot of the communist type country helmets. It's got a very basic liner system, which, as you can see, is definitely inspired by the United States typical suspension of US M1 helmets, although it is not a removable liner. This is a steel helmet. There are a lot of variants that are actually not steel. They are like plastic riot helmets. They're used by police. They're sold to civilians. They're sold on the tourist trade, and that is generally what you're going to see for sale in China. And a lot of Chinese websites sell those pretty damn cheap. But an original GK80 steel helmet is a little bit pricey. They're not super duper expensive, but if you know what you're getting and you're actually getting an original, it is nice to know that's what you're getting, and it's probably worth it to pay a little bit more money for one that you can have a guarantee is actually steel, isn't just a reproduction or anything like that, and is a military version. I will say that the military versions do not generally have any stampings on them or other markings. They are pretty much devoid of anything. I've seen some with a red star stenciled on them. That may be proper, but generally in pictures of Chinese soldiers in the field wearing these, they're just going to be plain without any kind of adornment or anything like that. They are pretty widely exported to a lot of other Asian countries that have used Chinese equipment, certainly throughout Southeast Asia. They're used by a number of insurgent groups in that area and kind of through the Middle East, and they've just kind of spread everywhere. They're a pretty ubiquitous helmet, but this is an unissued example of a Chinese GK80. So if you're interested in these, they are available. Just be careful with what you're buying. Make sure it is an original. I would probably stress not just buying blindly from a vendor in China. You may want to try with somebody located in your own country, so you can maybe ask some questions and be a little bit sure of what you're getting. Again, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll be putting up more interesting stuff in the coming days.